and welcome to this episode of 3R's Crafting. The 3R's stand for reduce, reuse, recycle. And when you do that, you save the earth a little bit and save yourself some money. Today I'd like to talk to you about some things you can buy and find at many of your local thrift stores that you may not have thought about in the past when you go to visit one. I got this beautiful teapot. It was $6.98, but I didn't buy it for a teapot. I bought it to keep my sewing supplies in. This is beside my sewing machine. I keep it there all the time. I need to take the price tag off of it. But it's a great place. It's got the seam ripper, which I use the most. But everything like that in there. And so I know where it is because I have a brain injury and it affects my short-term memory. So the only thing I really have to remember is to put it back inside the teapot, and then if I need something, to look inside the teapot. And right before I did this, I realized that I had one of these inside the teapot. This is one of these little plastic liquor bottles you get on airplanes, or I guess at the liquor store. I don't drink alcohol because of the medication I take, but whenever I see these, somebody throws them away, I pick them up because you can take the label right off of it with probably 91% alcohol, and then you can fill them up with the little seed beads and things like that, and they're really, really cute. So if you see one in a recycle bin, or if you see one, just take it home and wash it really well, and just try it because it's real. You can paint the tops, you can put ribbons around them, just all kinds of things. So that's idea number one. The last time I was at the thrift store, I found this, and I was delighted. It was $1.98. I think that it at one time in its life was a container with maybe 2 bottles of wine, because there's a price tag on the bottom that says $69. But the reason I bought it, again, is because of my brain injury. But I can put all of my little craft supplies that I need for projects that I'm working on right in here. So I don't have to go looking for my scissors, or for the spray adhesive, or for the Mod Podge, or for the parchment paper from the dollar store. It's the most economical and best craft supply out there. You get 25 feet. It lasts a couple months. I use it every single time I do any type of crafting. But that's an idea too. And see, I don't always craft like in one room. A lot of times I take things with me from room to room, or even in bed. And so instead of having to lug things around or lose them, I just grab it by the handle and away you go. I print a lot of images. This is beautiful. And I've just learned or created printing on fabric process that for me, it's been 100% successful since I started. I just learned about this, how to do it, and figured out what to do. And I love how it looks. And because this is now November 17th, and I'm going to make a lot of Christmas things using fabric printing. And I'll show you that process and technique in another video. But when I don't print on fabric, I like to use, watercolor paper. And you don't have to use the expensive kind. You get 20 sheets in this from Walmart. It costs about $3.50. And you can manipulate your printer. And sometimes you can get 5 or 6 images on one page. And the reason I like this so much is, I'll show you. Over the summer, I decided that I was going to do a fabric book for my best friend that lives in Arkansas. But then when I was at the thrift store, I found something else, and it changed my mind completely. And so I decided to print the images on the watercolor paper so that they would look vintage. And it's just, you can't see it, I don't think, because of the texture, but it's just gorgeous, and it looks exactly like, and this is going to be Friends to the Ages is the name. And she's married, and this is going to be she and her husband when they get older. But aren't they wonderful, these vintage photographs? And that's a vintage Christmas card. And this is what changed my mind. But anyway, I love printing on that. It's inexpensive. And please give it a try, and it's got 2 sides. And sometimes I use the back side, and then sometimes I use the front. It depends on what I'm printing and the reason I'm printing it. But this is what I found at the thrift store that changed my mind. And as you can see, let me turn it this way. This was 25 cents. And it is nothing more than a photo album. But look at all these cool shapes. And so I'm in the process of doing something with it. But isn't she cute? And I've got a little piece of plastic that I can put over that. But see how it's all vintagey looking? And like this is, and it's going to be friends through the ages. And I just love it. And see, this is another idea. Isn't that pretty? So what I've done so far, these are, I'm going to take out, but I've put one coat of chalk paint on this. You can certainly use gesso or any other type of primer. You will have to prime it. And then once I get it a color, I was thinking about decoupaging pretty napkins over it for each page just to show, but isn't that cool? And that's why I needed all those images. I needed something like 60 images, but it's so cute and I hope she loves it. Of course, I'm going to paint the front and put trim and things like that and lace, but that's another thing that you can think of, something new. So just one moment. I don't know if your thrift store has a section for like office supplies or art and craft supplies. They don't have much, and they never have lace. They never have doilies, but they do have paper products. And I got 1,000 pieces of, it's 8.5 by 11, and it's a dark olive green, but there were 1,000 pieces in here for 45 cents. It'd been marked down, nobody bought it, but it's great for leaving notes. I'm an artist, and so I have been putting those in the back of some smaller canvases I've been doing, and it's really fun. And, you know, it'll last me probably for the rest of my life, but that's something to think about. And when I found those, I also found, and I bought 2 of them. This is legal size typing paper, and it was 45 cents. And all you have to do is, if you don't need it that long, is just get out your cutter thing. And again, 45 cents. I bought 2 packets of them. So I don't know if I'll ever have to buy computer paper again. This was also marked down to 45 cents at the thrift store. And I love the cover. I may do some trim or something around it, but for my purpose, I'm going to leave it alone. But it's just a brand new, never used photo album. And I saw this on Pinterest where people were keeping their dies. Now, I'm not a card maker. I'm not a scrapbook person. But last Christmas, at the thrift store, I found a Big Shot for $19, and I bought it. And one of the things I bought it for was because I wanted to cut out squares. I quilt, and won't they be cute? And so it really worked great. And then these can make paper flowers. You also, so now these are too big for that, but all you have to do is just cut through it and then tape it from the inside and put one on the outside, and you can have one of those. It's a good place to keep your stencils that are this size. Also stamps. I don't have a whole lot, and I hope to grow my supply list, but I don't need a whole lot. And like these are embossing things that I got for 80% off at Tuesday morning, and they're Sizzix, and they're so pretty and they work really well. So again, 45 cents. It's a great thing, an easy way to know where your things are without having to rifle through all your stuff. So let me get the next one out. Since I had the stencils out, I thought I would share this product. It comes from the Dollar Tree, and it is lightweight spackling. I am an abstract artist, and I like to make texture in my projects, and so you can put the texture paste. And I thought I would give this a try, and I kept it for almost 7 months, and I just used it this past week, and it's wonderful. It works great. It's not heavy. It cost $1. And so if you're in the thrift store and you do think, the Dollar Tree, and you see something like this, pick it up and give it a try, because it really works great. And not only that, it works great on the wall too, covering up nail holes. The next thing I'd like to share with you are, this is not my idea, and I looked for the channel, but I will, when I post this, look for it again, and if I can find her link, I will put it down in the description box below, because she's got so many great ideas. And this was before I thought about printing on the watercolor paper. And she would buy resume paper for 75 cents $1 at the thrift store, and that's what she was using to print paper on, and it came out great. And I used to always see resume paper at the thrift store, but now that I look for it, the only thing I could find was an envelope. So it was 75 cents, so I thought, well, I'll give it a shot, and if it's bad, I still have to have envelopes, so there's nothing, it's a win-win on that. Then I began to see all of these videos about making envelope journals, and there are 148 it looks like invitation size envelopes on here. And as you can see, I paid 99 cents for this. They had 2 packs of them. I bought them both. And that's one thing I plan to do this winter. It's November 17th, and it's starting to get cold, but I thought that'd be something fun you could do in bed and stay nice and warm. But that's a great idea. While I was in that same section that day, And the box came like this. It was all dented in. And it was $1.98. And they had 2 boxes of it. And this other lady opened that one to see what she did. So I decided I wanted it too. And so it's got all these small envelopes because these are wedding invitations. And you've got these envelopes too. But then